Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Brandon. Brandon is from Pennsylvania in the USA. So let's see what Brandon has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Cool.
Good?
Yeah.
So hello Brandon, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to do it.
So how's your morning going so far? Or your day?
The morning was really good. I actually had to see the cardiologist, but I got a really good report. My heart is doing very well, which I have non-ischemic cardiomyopathy. So the fact that it's doing very well was some great news today. I no longer have to take a baby aspirin every morning, so they think everything is looking up for me. So it's been a good morning.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that we are doing the interview today where you received this good news. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Good. And where are you from, Brandon?
From all over the place. I was born in the South Hills of Pittsburgh in Bridgeville. Then I moved around a lot, all over Pittsburgh, North Side. I lived in Leechburg for a couple of years. That was interesting. And now I'm living in Finleyville. Which is nice. It's quiet and everyone's really friendly. It's a great neighborhood of that. And now I'm renting a cool little pied-a-terre that I call it my little pied-a-terre. I'm actually in the upstairs of a big house that my aunt and uncle own, renting that space. So it's really nice.
I see. In the state of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
I see. And what do you do for a living, Brandon?
Well, I'm a dance teacher. I teach hip hop, tap, contemporary, ballet, acro, and jazz. Currently, my full-time job is working at a Cohen Market, which is a chicken place that we sell gas. We do everything. It's basically like a big convenience store / cafe chicken joint, which is really fun. It's we're known for our chicken. And everybody that I work with is absolutely wonderful. They're very cool. I've only been there for a couple of weeks. And then I start teaching again in January. So it should be fun.
So tell me a little bit about your career as a dancer teacher.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's always been a juggle over my own dance career and my teaching career, what I really wanted to focus more on. And I've lived a lot of life in the dance world. I've danced the Nutcracker twice for Old Region Ballet Company. I danced with Miller Dance for a few seasons. I also did shows with Mer Dance, which is run by the amazing director and choreographer Heidi Mer. But I've always had a place in my heart for teaching, working with kids, watching them develop, watching them grow. And now I'm aging myself, but a few of my students are in college now and running companies and dancing on cruise lines. And it's just, I love my own dance career, but nothing takes the cake like watching these kids become amazing, young adults, in the industry of dance and just in life in general. So it's been a really rewarding experience having a career like this.
Amazing. And you started teaching just this year, or you've been teaching for a while now?
I've been teaching since I was 19. Actually,
Oh, wow.
I got my first professional gig as a dancer, but I was also teaching a few classes at Rosalind Kenneth Professional School of Dance, and I learned from the great Rochelle Rack and Rosalind Kenneth and Sherry Dusky and just amazing Sarah Sturdivant, wonderful teachers and choreographers and innovators, and that's where I started teaching myself, and then I carried on to teach at a number of other different schools. And now sometimes I freelance and go to different schools just to choreograph for their competitive programs.
Oh my God, you do a lot.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All worth it. All worth it.
Absolutely. When you do something with passion, when you do something that you love it, it's just, it goes naturally. You just don't feel like work or anything. You just do it.
It's I forget who said it, but make your vocation your vacation, and I think that's something I've been blessed with being able to do. You know, throughout all the stress and the craziness and the costumes and the oh my gosh, you need to point your feet, and all that stuff. It's really just a beautiful, beautiful thing. You know that it's ever growing, ever breathing. I'm always learning. I'm always a student, and you know, I love it.
Amazing. Okay, through the game, I'm going to explore more a little bit about your career and also about your point of views. Okay?
Okay, cool.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
I am. I believe so. Yes.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Best friend, okay, full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Let's do it. Okay. Oh my God, I'm just thinking here right now. I'm so brave to be dancing in front of a professional dancer. Oh my God.
You can move. You can move. I'm impressed.
I try. I'm from Brazil, so Brazilian people somehow when you're born already like moving.
Yeah, you already have it a little bit.
Okay, before we start the game, during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, in your opinion, what is the worst thing someone can say on a first date?
Oh, what's the worst thing somebody can say on a first date? How much do you weigh? I think that's a terrible, terrible thing to say. A terrible icebreaker.
Did it ever happen to you?
No. Oh gosh, I've received some terrible icebreakers before. Nobody ever asked me about my weight, though. A silly one, because my hair is obviously not natural. Like, you know, it's silver or whatever this color is. Somebody once said, "Are you a natural blonde?" Knowing that my eyebrows are dark and, you know, I had a beard at the time. And it's like, yeah, I am. Yeah, this is totally just natural. This is on my dad's side. No. But I think they were nervous. So they were just asking anything they could.
That's a sweet one in a way, just to break the ice.
It is a little sweet, yeah.
Saying that, Brandon, one person to go on a date with you, what this person must have and must not have?
I think what a person must have to go on a date with me is a sense of open-mindedness and just willingness to, you know, learn and understand about me and, you know, share things about themselves and just be open-minded and, you know, and don't be afraid to ask questions, even if they are about my hair. And I think one thing this person should not have is a fear of showing themselves, trying to put on a front or a facade, you know, assuming a pose and creating something, because in the long run, that all comes crashing down and your real self will come out. So it's better to just be open and honest and, you know, willing to see where it goes with a honest perspective about yourself and about, you know, me. So
amazing. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think if you're gonna be spending your time with someone that pretends not being themselves, even though we don't know this person, we can feel it. Like, you know,
yes.
Can feel it somehow, and it kind of gets a bit awkward, you know, in a way.
It does, very much so. It gets to be, it's basically a lie, you know, and it's hard to, you know, it's playing a game. You know?
It's difficult to connect with the person.
Yeah, you should be able to connect in an honest way.
Next question, let's do it. Next question for you is, what can make you cry and what can make you really happy?
Okay, I am a big crier. I'm a big baby. I will watch something on Netflix and I will be bawling my eyes out like a little girl. Um, Sad puppy commercials, Sarah McLachlan. Oh, I can't watch them. You know what's really funny? It's the Christmas season and the Eaton Park commercial with the tree and the little star that's like trying to get to the top of the tree and struggling so hard. And you feel so bad for this little star. And then the tree bends over and picks it up. Since yeah, and it's the star on top of the tree after that. Oh my gosh, I'm 34 years old and I still cry like a baby every time that commercial comes on. But yeah, so I'm a wimp. But and something that could make me very sad or very
Happy.
happy.
Yeah.
Happy, yes. Gosh, looking back over my career and looking back over all the lives that I've had the, honor of being a part of. That's something that, no matter how things are going in my life, whether they're really awful or really down and I'm struggling, I just go back to, little memories I have, like this 2-year-old tap dancer that, was not fully potty trained and she was learning how to do shuffles and she was doing so well. And then I smelled something and she looks up at me and goes, "Mr. Brendan, I just pooped my pants." And I was like, "Okay, let's find mommy." Yeah, oh yeah. And she goes, "No, I'm still doing my shuffles." She kept doing her shuffle. And she was so adamant about like this new dance stuff she learned. And well, we had to get mommy and we had to get her cleaned up. But little things like that, like I have a billion stories and they always make me smile no matter how bad my day is going or what's going on in my life.
That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. It's such a genuine, like, gesture, isn't it? You're just like expressing yourself in a very genuine way. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, good one. Next question, Brenda. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, tell me how your dance career started. Tell me the moment when you realized that, okay, I was born to be a dancer. Did something happen, or is kind of when you're growing up, you kind of realized that dancing something about yourself, it was in yourself?
Well, ever since I was little, I had my first pair of tap shoes when I was 2 years old. And I loved noise. I loved making noise with my feet. I tell my tap students now that being a tap dancer is basically being a drummer. Your toes are percussion, your heels are bass, and that's what you base everything off of. But I grew up watching Gene Kelly and Michael Jackson, and I think seeing Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing was the tipping point for, I wanted to be him. And when I started dancing, I was 2.5, just like that one child that was in my class, and I was terrible. I'm very misbehaved, running all over the place, like just hanging on the bars, hanging up on the ceiling. I don't know. I was terrible. So they said, you know what, maybe he's not ready for a structured class like this. So they asked me to come back when I was 4. And then I was obsessed with those old movies, old Gene Kelly, Catherine Deneuve, Bob Fosse, and Liza with a Z, all these different things. Like at the age of 4, I was obsessed with them. And I went back to the dance studio and I started taking a tumbling class because, I loved, I wanted to learn how to do back handsprings and things like that. And I saw all the older kids doing these 16 pirouettes and these amazing switch sissons and giant crazy leaps and jumps and turns and just creating a story with their bodies. And I couldn't stop watching them. And I think that was at the age of 4 that I knew that was my life. That was my dream.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And did your family support you all the way? You had the support of your family?
Yeah, they did. They were very supportive. They spent a lot of money, and my mother always reminds me of that. Costumes, competition fees, and throughout my early 20s, I'd be like, "Oh, Mom, I'm a little short on rent. Can you help me out?" And she's like, "Remember that competition and those like 4 costumes I had to buy for you? Yeah, I think you'll be all right." No, my parents loved my dance career. They loved, you know, they were both dancers and actors themselves. They were both musical theater majors at
Wow.
WVU. So I always joke that whenever, you know, there's a Thanksgiving argument like this starts happening, you know, and just the Jerome Robbins dance battle, that doesn't really happen. But no, they were very supportive and very loving throughout my career. And it was good because I'm a guy, and not a lot of parents are very supportive of a guy dancer still to this day. It's 2022, and there's still some, you know, some dads that don't really get it. So, you know, I was very lucky.
All right. Okay, next question for you is, if you could be an animal, which one that would be and why?
A sloth, because, you know, I'm super lazy sometimes. And no, I wouldn't be a sloth. If I could be a fainting goat. No, I'm just kidding. I think I would be a cat. I kind of march to the beat of my own drum. I'm very loving, but, you know, I pride myself in being able to take care of myself. So I think I would be a cat.
All right. Do you have any cats?
No, not right now, because my dogs will eat them. I have two dogs, Dexter and Philip. They're black labs, and they were actually my aunt and uncle's dogs. And you know, moving in, they became my dogs as well. And they're the sweetest dogs on the planet. Unless you're another small animal, then they will eat you. So I can't have a cat.
That's funny. What are their names?
Dexter, named after the show, and he's a little bit rougher around the edges. And then the sweeter one is named Philip.
All right. Next question. Let's do it. All right. Next question for you is, what do you like the most about yourself?
My ability to adapt. I think I've gone through a lot in my life that I had to learn to adapt very quickly. And sometimes adapting to a new situation or a new way of living or a new challenge is very trying. But I think that's one thing that I'm always able to somehow do, is adapt to something new and, you know, survive by being able to adapt. You know, that phrase, oh, I forgot who says it. My brain isn't working today, but survival of the fittest. The guy who said that, who I'm blanking on his name, in his 70s said that it wasn't about, you know, being the strongest or the fastest or the smartest. It was about being able to adapt to your situations. That is what survival of the fittest means. And I think that's something that I've learned to do, which I'm, you know, proud of myself for that. And I like that about myself.
That's great. Tell me something, if you can share, of course, something that one of the first things that you need to adapt yourself to, if you can share something that you go like, okay, I'm very proud of myself because I managed to adapt myself for this situation, if you can share.
Well, I chose to start living a sober life, and that was a huge adaptation. Getting rid of alcohol and chemicals and, you know, just living day by day, life on life's terms. That was a huge adaptation. And it took all, you know, it's still something that is growing within me, that it's always, you know, something I have to work on every day that I wake up. I feel like I have to do something for myself to really live a good life. And if I get complacent or if I get lazy, that's when I get, you know, in the red zone and I get depressed and, you know, I get maybe into a bad path. And that's something that I wake up every morning and I tell myself, what am I going to do for my sobriety today? So,
wow. Thanks for sharing that, Brandon. I think talking about those, you know, challenge periods in our lives, I'm sure people watch the interview, they will appreciate that as well, because maybe they are facing that challenge right now, or maybe they, somehow they couldn't cope, or maybe they are adjust themselves, or maybe they adapt themselves as well for this new situation. And also just listen to someone talking about it. I'm sure you are helping a lot of people. Thank you.
I surely hope so. Amazing. I do.
Ready for another one?
Yep, I am.
Let's do it. Let's go. Okay, Brandon, next question is, tell me 3 fun facts about yourself.
Okay. I don't know if this is actually true, but it's a fact to me because my mother did tell me this. She might have been joking, but knowing my mother, it probably is true. My name wasn't supposed to be Brendan. It was supposed to be Kevin. But when she was giving birth to me, the doctor who delivered me, his name was Dan. And he jokingly said to her, if you name the baby after me, you'll get a discount on your medical bills. And my mother thought to herself, well, Brendan has Dan in it, and that's an Irish name. Maybe I like that better than Kevin. And I became Brendan.
Wow.
That's what I was told as a kid. And I think it might be, malarkey, but I like to think that it's a fun fact.
That's for sure. I like it.
Another fun fact about me, I was born with lazy eye. My right eye. It used to cross in, and I had to wear an eye patch for an hour a day when I was in elementary school. Wow. So I got made fun of a lot, and I got called a pirate. And I remember there's a horror movie, an indie horror movie called May. It's an amazing film, but she has a lazy eye, and she had to wear an eye patch just like I did as a child. And there's a scene where somebody comes up to her as a child while she's wearing the eye patch and goes, "Are you a pirate?" So the first time I saw this movie, I'm having a post-traumatic stress-induced panic attack, oh my gosh, that's me. So second fun fact about me is I was born with a lazy eye. What's a third fun fact about me? I hate everything banana flavored, but I absolutely love bananas.
That's very interesting. Oh my God.
I can't do the Laffy Taffy banana flavor or anything with kiwi banana or banana anything is disgusting to me, but actual bananas, absolutely love.
I'll tell you something now. I have something very similar. I like all the flavors. Like if I'm gonna have ice cream, or if I'm gonna have, let's say, a sorbet or something, always I like to have strawberry flavor. But the fruit itself, I don't know, it's too sour. I don't know. I just can't. But everything flavory with with strawberry, it gets my attention, even as a child.
Oh wow.
And I love banana, by the way. I love bananas. I eat banana every day, actually. Every morning when I wake up, I have some water, and after I have a banana. That's something. Yeah.
And banana and peanut butter together is fire. It's the best thing ever.
I never tried, but I know I've had some guests on the show. They mention about it's very delicious.
Oh, it's perfect. It's a perfect combination.
One question about when you talk about your lazy eye. So tell me, when you use the patch, what's the reason? It kind of helps your eyes to get working better?
Well, I put the patch over my. Well, I haven't had to use it in years, but I would put the patch over my good eye. That way, it forced the lazy eye to work and strengthen the muscles to pull it back to a regular place.
Interesting.
And my eyesight is not 20/20, but when my eyes are both open, I tend to do fine. I don't wear glasses or anything. It's pretty normal now.
Wow, very interesting. Wow. Next question, Brenda. Let's do it. Before the next one, and what's the most challenging part of being a dancer, in your opinion?
I think the most challenging part of being a dancer is you're sore all the time. You have to push your body to limits that a lot of athletes don't have to do. And you have to have the heart to do that. So I think the physical um, aspect of dance is one of the hardest, but also connection is another thing that I have to say, because when you're dancing, you're telling a story. You have to connect to the movement, to the quality, to the music, to whatever your director or choreographer has. You have to pull that from inside out of yourself. No matter what the step is, you have to kind of find the story and tell it, which can be very difficult. So basically, you're an actor, So the physicality and the acting, I think, is what makes dance so difficult, but so unbelievably beautiful.
I see. All right. Next question for you is, which person do you talk to the most?
Which person do I talk to the most? Well, it's between my dog Dexter and my dog Philip. But they're persons. No,
They
they're
are good
dogs, but
listeners. They are good
they're
listeners.
persons to me.
They are good listeners.
They do listen very well. They're very good dogs. No, I talk to my coworkers. I talk to friends. I talk to everyone on Facebook. I'm very chatty. I love to talk. So there's no one person that I really speak to more than the rest. But yeah, I would have to say my dogs.
I'm sure you talk to them and they are listening to you very properly, for sure.
Yeah.
And sweet as well, for sure. They're there to support you.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. Next one. Next question for you is, what was your worst footy mouse moment?
Oh my gosh, I have to pick one. Wow. So many. Okay, I remember when I was an 8-year-old kid, I saw the movie Scream 2, and there's a line that I thought meant you have a crush on somebody, and the line was, "You got a hard on for Cameron." I thought that meant you have a crush on her. I didn't know what it meant. I was 8 years old. So me and my mother were talking to a priest that lived across the street, and he mentioned something about something, and it had some actress. It was like a movie or something. And I was like, oh, well, they just have a hard on for her, don't they? Yeah, in front of a priest. So yeah, I think that was my worst foot and mouth moment. He kind of stared blankly at me for a minute, and he started laughing. He's like, "Do you know what that means?" And then they said, "No, that's not what it means." They didn't tell me exactly what it meant until I was older, and then looking back, it was like, "Whoops."
Imagine your mom, her situation. Oh my God.
Oh no, her eyes grew like 7 sizes. Like she just turned pale. Like there was nothing. She just
That's funny.
I've had a lot of moments like that with my mother.
3 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, Brandon from Pennsylvania. Next question is, what's the best present have you ever received, and why you consider that?
Best present I ever received. It's silly. I have a niece. I have one niece. She's 8 years old, and I still call her baby CJ. When things were kind of rough for me, my sister, her mother, would send me cards and notes, and like a Christmas card or a birthday card or something. But on the back, there was one note that had a note from baby CJ, and she wrote that, Uncle Brendan, I love you and I miss you. If you ever are lonely and you miss me, just think of me as if I'm there. And then she drew a self-portrait of her in crayon and said, love, baby CJ. So I think that was my best gift I ever got.
Wow. Do you still have it?
I still have it somewhere. Yeah, it's hidden with all my my personal notes and writings and things like that. I have yeah, somewhere. I'm not sure where, but it was one of the greatest things I ever got.
Do you have just one sister?
I have two. I have CJ's mom, which is my older sister, and then I have a younger sister who's also in the arts. She's a stagehand. She's amazing. Both of my sisters are amazing. They're both brilliant. Wonderful, wonderful people. You know.
I can see Benny smile now watching the interview when you said that.
Yeah.
Two questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
Brandon, before the next question, tell me, in your career, tell me a moment that you go like, okay, that was a moment that I would never forget. You know, when you're on stage or when you're teaching, tell me like a situation that you feel very proud of yourself through your career.
Well, I have one, and it goes back to my hair. So I was teaching at Burley's Dance Gallery, this amazing school in Bethel Park, and I had my little ones for tap class. I called them the Nuggets, my little chicken McNuggets. And I bleached my hair just randomly on a whim, and it was kind of brassy and all over the place. And one of the little ones comes up to me and goes, "Mr. Brendan, why is your hair yellow?" So it was around November, so I thought I'd be cute and say, "Well, I'll let you know a little secret. Every year around this time, Mr. Brennan gets a little bit shorter, his ears get pointy, and his hair gets lighter. Do you want to know why?" And she goes, "Why, Mr. Brennan?" I was like, "Because he turns into a Christmas elf so he can help Santa Claus." Yeah. And for a 5 and 6-year-olds, word traveled fast, and they were all over the fact that Mr. Brennan turns into an elf. So my older sister actually photoshopped pointy ears and put them on Facebook so that my kids' parents could show them on their Christmas break, their holiday break, that Mr. Brennan was an elf and he was helping Santa Claus. So the one thing I didn't take into consideration is that every year I taught for that studio, around that time, I had to bleach my hair. So it was cute, but then I had a commitment. But that's one of my favorite teaching moments, you know, being Mr. Brendan, the Christmas elf, who also teaches tap.
Oh, children, they are the best, aren't they? I think they're so
Oh,
wonderful. Oh gosh, you learn with them. Actually, don't teach, you learn with them. That's what I believe.
Yes, you do. Very true.
Totally. Okay, next question is, what makes you very sentimental?
Music. I think I love all different types of music, and music is one of the things that allows me to feel. It allows me really to interpret my surroundings and my own emotional space. You know, where I am psychologically, where I am emotionally, and I can hear, you know, a song and go back to something maybe that I needed to relive a little bit and find the lesson in, or maybe just something I needed to smile about. Music is it's a very sentimental and a very nostalgic thing for me. So yeah.
When you listen to music, which kind of music do you like to listen to the most?
I am ridiculous when it comes to music styles. I could be listening to Billie Holiday and then put on a St. Vincent album, or, you know, listen to just pop music and then switch right over to like old Emmylou Harris, you know, Patsy Cline country, or First Aid Kit, like the newer stuff. I'm all over the place. There is no style of music that I don't have a special place in my heart for, that I don't love in some way, you know. But yeah, and that's one of the things I think dance really brought that into my character, being able to really identify with a lot of different types of music.
Amazing. Ready for the last one?
Yes.
Let's do it. Last question.
Okay.
Before the last question, people watching the interview right now, would you like to become a dancer or to start a career in, you know, dancing? What would be your best piece of advice?
Never stop learning. Always be a student. I think that is the best advice for anyone. You know, there's always something to learn. There's always something to grow. There's always a place to go with it. So never think that you've peaked. Always be a student. That's my advice.
All right. Last question is, what is your favorite kitchen smell?
My favorite kitchen smell?
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot, but bacon. Oh, the smell of like cooking bacon, and the sound of it. It's wonderful. Oh, my mouth is watering. It's absolutely wonderful.
Do you like cooking?
No, anything that is longer than 3 minutes in a microwave is way above my pay grade. I am a terrible cook.
Right.
And I work in a chicken joint, so.
It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. One word for friendship.
Kindness.
How about fear?
Loneliness.
Politics.
Scary.
Religion.
Beautiful.
How about life?
Living.
Sex.
Fun.
Family.
Love.
Money.
Not a lot.
How about love?
Is.
Desire.
Heart comes to my mind. I don't know why.
Okay. Regret.
Learn.
Success.
Changing.
One word for wish.
A dream.
How about happiness?
Pencil.
One word for Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh.
One word for USA.
Freedom.
And the last one now, dancer. One word.
Life.
Wow. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, okay? And I'm going to ask your best friends. Tell me the most beautiful thing about Brandon and tell him something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your best friend would say.
Nothing. He's terrible. Run. No, I'm just kidding. That's my best friend would probably say the most beautiful thing about me is my ability to listen. And what was the next thing? The one thing that I could improve, or
yeah, you need to improve on, to work on.
He could pick up his phone more often. I'm very bad at I always get back to friends, but I'm very bad at getting back right away. I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. I just got your text now. Yeah, I'm terrible with it.
Do you see some improvement regarding that?
I could use a lot of improvement. Yeah, getting back to people in a timely manner. Not 3 days later, oh, LOL, and they're like, what are we talking about even?
That's funny. Let's play now, Brandon and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, I'm going to be brave one more time, and I'm going to dance in front of a professional dancer. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, Brandon, you can ask me a question now.
Okay. What is happiness to
Oh, I love the question. Happiness for me, I think when I think about happiness, I think about moments. Yeah, I think about moments that it's great when you feel this feeling of happiness. At the same time as well, you know that's not gonna be there for it's you know forever. So it's kind of it comes and goes. You know, like
Yes.
yeah, I understand. But for me, happiness, Brandon, is being yourself. I think when you are yourself, you have this feeling of being happy because you're not pretending. You know, you're not. You know, you're just being yourself. I think for me, being happy, it's about being yourself, even knowing that not gonna, as I mentioned, it's not gonna be this feeling forever. You know, I could tell you so many things that makes me happy. But when I think about happiness, it's about you being yourself. I don't know if it makes sense, but for me, it's the fact that when you are yourself, you know, it's connected with happiness because you are living your truly self. So for me, this define happiness. It's about you being yourself and being your truly self. You know what I mean? Even though facing challenges in life and everything. So I think for me, actually, I never thought about that. My goodness, I went deep now. Oh, wow, I love that. I love that.
I love it. I love that. I love all of that. That's wonderful.
So yes, actually, I never thought about that. You know, I think happiness is it's something that all of us, you know, you're gonna feel some time or most of the time or you know in a while. But for me, it's being yourself. Wow, I like that. I really like it. Yes, about being yourself for sure.
That's a great answer. I love that. Yeah, just being connected, mind, body, and soul, being you.
It's good. It's great, isn't it? It's like it's
Yeah.
being happy. It's being happy. It's about you be able to be yourself. I think that's a sign of happiness. I like that. Actually, when I edit in the interview, I'm gonna save that to keep for me. Like on the side to remember that. Brenda, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
It was absolutely wonderful. It was great. It was a great interview.
By the way, thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. And also, I'm going to repeat again, I'm so happy that we did the interview on this special day for you. A day that, you know, you said you went to the doctor and you just find out that you don't need to take this medicine anymore. And I'm glad that, you know what I mean? You talk about happiness again, and you know, it meant to be today, and I'm so glad that and yeah, good for you. Good that you know you had this good news and you shared now with the whole world.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been absolutely wonderful.
Oh, pleasure. But before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Something that I live by. It's a quote, actually. It's not mine. It's not my words. It's Helen Mirren, the actress, beautiful, beautiful, amazing actress. And she once said that I take my inspiration from babies and dogs, and I try to be as happy as them.
Oh, wow, that's nice. I was about to say, can you say that in your best British accent?
I take my happiness from babies and dogs, and I try to be as happy. I take my inspiration from babies and dogs, and I try to be as happy as them.
There you go. I love it.
Terrible.
Brendan, thanks so much for the interview, and you keep in touch, okay? Enjoy your day. It was a pleasure connecting with you, okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why do you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.